Okay, thanks, Patricia. Hi, good afternoon. I can see the list of guests, and many of us, we know each other, but still there are some new guests. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself as a Dhanaji Patil, working as a sales manager for Vortex for Southeast Asia market, including India. On behalf of Vortex, we welcome all of you for today's session, which is about modeled wind resource data. So in today's session, we will be discussing what technology we use in Vortex, what are the Vortex products we are offering to clients, then accuracy and reliability associated with the modeled wind information, and then I will show you the Vortex interface and knowledge center section. Let us first discuss about technology. So we in Vortex, you run work model to downscale macro scale information to mesoscale till microscale level, and we are delivering information in terms of wind maps, hourly time series wind data, wind distribution tab files, high resolution wind resource grid files, even 10 minutes time series information, and also extremes and turbulence information. As you can see in this slide, I have mentioned we use on-demand zooming approach in Vortex. So if I hope I am not exaggerating, but this is the new equation in wind industry, that model wind data means Vortex. So let us make some supportive statement to this new equation. Okay, so first one is the experience. Just last year, 2020, we celebrated our 15th anniversary in Vortex. And for these 15 years, we have done millions of work calculation. So you can imagine the size of experience. Then, I mean, we are not a consultant. We don't do any calculations. We don't do any feasibility studies. We are focused to deliver the best possible wind information. And so you can imagine, I mean, we have very small ground to play. Of course, it's very critical part of wind farm project development. But as a small area, we need to perform best and best on each and every occasions. Okay, then in Vortex, nothing is pre-calculated. We just do the calculation. We start the calculations based on the client's request. Okay, so as I mentioned, we use on-demand zooming approach, and in reference to the previous question, which was related to the what makes the difference between the on-demand zooming or and the pre-calculated information. Okay, I mean, on-demand zooming gives us a possibility to use the latest technology in terms of WRF update, then the computational power advancement, and of course the updated reanalysis information. And whereas pre-calculated information, okay, whatever we do the calculations today, actually it becomes old in several months. Then we don't know in advance what type of wind information my client is looking for, which are those area he might be will request the wind information. And because of these two constraints, we just calculate whole globe, and it takes a lot of calculation time and also the cost also. So when we are talking in terms of delivery and cost, of course, the on-demand approach is much better than the pre-calculated information. Okay, then what technology we use in Vortex? I mean, it's very simple. We run work model. I can say now it's simple because you can imagine last 15 years we have done millions of work calculations, and for sure now in Vortex, now it should be very simple. Okay, and for the work model, we give these three inputs. The first one is the reanalysis information from CFSR, MERA, and ERA5. Then the terrain information from SRTM, which is at 100-meter resolution, and then the roughness information from globe cover, which will be at 300-meter resolution. Okay, we ingest all these coarse resolution information to the WRF, and we run WRF to downscale this macro scale information to mesoscale and till microscale level. Okay, in mesoscale, you can see here we are delivering products at 3 kilometer and 1 kilometer resolution. You can see hourly time series data, then the wind maps at 3 and 1 kilometer resolution. In microscale, we are offering virtual mast. The output will be wind distribution tab files, then the high resolution WRG files from the farm, and LES 10 minutes time series data. In today's session, we will be discussing about these mesoscale and microscale products in bit more detail. But just before going there, let me show something. So about these new products, I mean, Extremes is another product in Vortex portfolio. We launched this product maybe couple of years back. And not only mean speed, wave rule, and some other metrics, Extremes play a very important role in case of wind farm designing, even the designing of the wind turbine itself, also for the foundation design, I mean, for the load calculations and all these factors. Okay, and now maybe in couple of months, we will have another new product. We call it as a blocks. Blocks is nothing but the combination of this farm and time series wind information. So in blocks, we will be delivering WRG files for the AEP calculations, and at the same time, we will be delivering time series information at each grid point of this farm. Okay, so as people are asking for the energy calculations in time domain, so they can go simply with the blocks option. Okay, maybe in future we will be discussing in more details about these two products. Okay, so let us have a look on the Vortex portfolio. You can see in these graphics the life cycle of project, which is normally about 25 years, but the prospection starts much earlier, maybe 5 years before the actual construction of any wind farm. And then you can see these are the Vortex products. They can be used for during the different stages of wind farm development. You can see the maps, LES data, mast, one can use for the prospection and pre-feasibility stage. Then for feasibility and for designing of wind farm, they are using the hourly time series data, then the farm WRG files and Extremes. Okay, and then still there are some products, those can be used during the operation and maintenance phase of the wind farm. Okay, so we know that we need modeled wind information during the prospection and pre-feasibility stage. Even while we are filtering out sites, I mean from the prospective sites, when we are doing the filtering, we take help of the model wind information. Even to decide the best position for the met mast, we use the model wind information. And we don't stop at this stage also. Even after having 1 or 2 years of measurement, we need modeled wind information for the long-term extrapolation, for the vertical extrapolation and extrapolation over area. Okay, going back to the last question, which was related to the which is the best product for the bean and sector-wise wind information. We will be discussing in this slide and next slide about that for the answer for that question. Okay, so I mean, let us have a look on the maps. So we are calculating maps for at 3 kilometer resolution, 1 kilometer resolution, and the analyst they request maps for the larger areas for states, regions, even for countries, because they want to do the screening of very large area, maybe with the coarse resolution 3 kilometer, 1 kilometer. Okay, and I have highlighted here what is important in case of maps. Maybe the bias or the is not that important at this stage during the very early stage or initial prospection. What is important is the spatial distribution of wind over area. So by this way, we are able to know which are the high potential wind pockets and which are those areas where there is no wind. And once we know the high potential wind pockets, then we can launch several runs of Vortex virtual mast product, as this is the product with high resolution, 100-meter resolution, and the output will be wind distribution tab file. So you can see here, you will have the bean and sector-wise wind information. You will have the wind rows, then variable A and K parameters. Okay, so whenever somebody is concerned about the magnitude of wind speed or the real, he want to know the real potential of any site, he can simply go for the mast, and maybe it just takes 24 or 36 hours and the information will be ready for that particular location. Okay, and we use these two products for the prospection and pre-feasibility stage, but several times we deliver this product as a package, I mean in combination, because sometimes we calculate or deliver map for Philippines at 1 kilometer resolution, and then we give also wind distribution tab file output in each grid point. Okay, there is another way to order as a package, that we can calculate map for Vietnam at 1 kilometer resolution, and then we give maybe 20 or 30 tokens or runs of masked product. So analyst, based on the output of the map, he can decide which are those locations where he or she can launch the master runs. Okay, by this way. And when we want to do the AEP assessment, we can, I mean, in previous slide, we saw that the spatial distributions are important. In case of maps, the magnitude of wind is important in case of masked tab files. But when we are doing the AEP assessments, I mean, everything is important. The bean and sector-wise distributions, the spatial distributions of wind over area, even the magnitude of mean speed. Everything is important as we are doing the AEP calculations, and then the farm gives that possibility. We are calculating farms for the areas up to 1,500 square kilometers, and at 100-meter resolution, the output will be WRG files. So you can simply import these WRG files in any AEP tools for AEP calculations. And in addition to WRG output for the mean speed, for the temperature, for the turbulence, for the extremes, one can have the Esri ASCII and Esri TIFF formats also, so they can see these layers in GIS softwares and even the Google Earth KML format. Okay, but day by day trend is changing. I mean, now the analysts and investors, they want to do the energy calculations based on the time domain, I mean. And of course, for the long-term trends, we need time series information. So we are calculating time series for last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, based on the CFSR, MERA, and ERA5. Okay. And what is good thing about these two products is that these two products are possible to remodel or calibrate by using on-site measurements. So we at Vortex have developed a unique remodeling methodology, which is based on the artificial neural network. And you already know that there are simple linear regression methods, MCP methods, then the matrix MCP method. But I mean, as far as the calculation wise, we consider this ANN based method is a bit complicated, but when we are talking about the results in terms of different wind matrix, like mean speed or power, Weibull A and K factors, then the bias, hourly, daily, monthly correlations, even the direction correlation, because maybe 10 years back, the direction information was not that important, but nowadays the direction is also having same importance as a wind speed, because once we do the construction or commissioning of any wind farm, then we can't change the layout, I mean. So the direction information is also important, even the root mean square error. So all these wind matrix will be improved at a time. It is not that we are improving mean speed, but then the daily correlations are getting worse. No, with the Vortex MCP methodology or remodeling tool, you can improve all these metrics at a time. And how you can validate this? It's very easy. I mean, both you can do validations for series and farms also. How to do the validation in case of series? Suppose you have any site with 2 years of measurement, you can just use 1 year of metmast information for remodeling or calibration of series, and then the output of second year remodeled output you can cross check with the second year measurements, and then it can be apple to apple validation for all these wind matrices. Same way you can do for farm also. How you can do that? Suppose if you have any site with multiple met towers, or maybe only just 2 met towers, then you can use one of that met tower information to calibrate or remodel farm output, and you can cross check the remodeled output of farm at the second met mast position. So no need to trust what I am saying or what third party reports are saying. You can carry out all these validations by yourself. Okay, and then whenever you a 10-minute time series information, we in Vortex, we say it is a unique product. With help of LES, we are able to provide 10 minutes time series information with standard deviation column also, and 3-second gust information also. The resolution, of course, is 100-meter resolution. And when one can use this 10 minutes time series information. Okay, so whenever you need turbulence information of any site, you can go for the LES. With the current tools, I mean all the micro tools, when they started designing these micro tools for AEP, for horizontal extrapolation, I mean those days the computers were with the MB size processor, but now I mean for the corporate world to have a supercomputer, it's now it's possible. I mean, so there is no constraint of handling the size of data. And with LES, there is a possibility. LES gives possibility to have a time series information at each and every wind turbine location, and how it can be used. I mean, for the individual wind turbine performance, then the for the turbulence at WTG location, for the load calculations. For, I mean, there are different ways the analysts are using time series information at wind turbine location. Okay, and the next one, the last is the most important application of LES, which is in the offshore locations. As for last 3 to 5 years, we are talking much about the offshore wind farm developments. And you know, to have the permissions to install a met tower in the offshore locations, you need a lot of permissions, then the cost component also. And instead, you can simply launch maybe for 20 or 30 or 50 locations, you can launch LES runs. And based on the LES output, you can decide which are these 1 or 2 locations where you can decide to install a met mast. So these are the applications of. Okay, let us discuss about the accuracy and reliability of modeled wind information. As I mentioned in the maybe second or third slide, in Vortex, we have very good size of experience. Then we are focused to the wind modeling or downscaling of wind information, and then the approach, on-demand zooming approach. At the same time, there are several another factors. Those are contributing to the accuracy of the wind information. The first one is the domain size. Another one is the nesting grid approach, and the third one is the, of course, the resolution. Okay, so I mean the first one is the size of domain. So as you can see in this picture, you can see in this area there, it's the South Tamil Nadu, Indian Peninsula part. You can see there are several wind passes. My colleagues from India, they might be aware about these wind passes. Aral-Waimozi Pass, then Shenkottai Pass, Kambam Pass, and the Palghat Pass. Okay, so then you can see, as it is a coastal area, there must be some coastal sea breezes from the east side, and there is a return monsoon in this area, which is during the October, November, and December. So there is a north wind component. Okay, so we can see these are the reanalysis node point information. They are not as per the scale, but I have, for the presentation only, I have used this scale. Then suppose if my site is between these 4 points, and as you can see, these node point C and B might be influenced from these wind passes during the monsoon period from June, July, August, September, and then maybe node point A might be a bit influenced with the east wind coming from this coast area, and the point D might be influenced a bit influenced from the north wind which comes during the November December month while there is a return monsoon. So normally what we try to do as a shortcut for the analysis, we try to use the nearest node point information, or sometimes we try to average these 4-point information by using some in-house interpolation tools. But definitely, for sure, it must be risky, and I can say it is a casual approach, I mean. So what we do in Vortex actually, we use nesting grid approach. You can see the first domain, the resolution of this first domain is 9 kilometer, and you can see we are using several hundred of node points. So we are not depending on the nearest node point. We are not depend on the 4 corners of that subgrid, but we use reanalysis large scale information from these lot of node points, I mean. And then we downscale this information by using work first at the 9 kilometer resolution grid. Then the output of this 9 kilometer resolution grid will be used as an input to the next domain. Then every time the size will be reduced by 1/3 and the resolution will be increased 3 times. I mean, and of course, we will reach to the 100-meter resolution. And so you can imagine the result should be better and accurate. I mean. Okay, the next, other than domain, another point is the resolution. You can see in this picture, for the same area, I have launched the 9 kilometer resolution map and the 3 kilometer resolution map. And you can see how the wind information is enhanced with this 3 kilometer resolution map. Okay, when we go for 1 kilometer, we further downscale this white box area to 1 kilometer resolution. You can see the information will be further enhanced, and when we are zooming the KMZ files, definitely we can reach to the exact our location to know the exact mean speed value for that location. Okay, when we further zooming this purple box at 100-meter resolution, we can see the information, this information particularly used for the AEP calculations. And so it's very important to have the fine details. I mean, you can see these are the areas with very high wind speed, and this is the area very close to that location, that coordinate, but it is with very low wind. Okay, and you can see this purple box in 3 kilometer resolution. You can see there is almost it is showing single value for whole this area, but you can see the exact wind information when you downscale to the 100-meter resolution. So definitely it makes sense to go for the high resolution. Okay, then let me, now I will show you about the Vortex interface for a couple of minutes and the knowledge center section, and then we can discuss the questions you have raised. Okay, so it looks many of you know already must have visited Vortex interface, but for those who have not seen the Vortex interface, as I don't know if I mentioned, in Vortex there is no setup, there is no desktop tool or something. Everything is web based, so you can go on the Vortex interface and you can raise your request and download your data. So if you don't have the login details, I request all of you to go for the free account section, and then you just fill up your name and you can set up password, and then you can sign up. Once you have login details, let me log in. You can log into the interface and you can see this 9 kilometer resolution map, which is calculated maybe 10 plus years back. And So you can imagine this is now it's the old information, I can say. Okay, maybe very soon we will have a new interface and we will be discussing in bit more details about the new interface in a separate webinar. Okay, so in this interface you can see there is a project tab. You can see all your project. Then there is a runs tab so that you can see all your runs details. You can and whenever you want to request a new product, you can click on the new, and you can see that you can request map, mass, farm, series information. Okay, and all the products, I mean, when you want to go for the farm option. Okay, so let us try to see the farm. So you can see here in the farm there are two options. The first one is the one moment. The first one is the 500-meter resolution standard farm, 500 square kilometers, and the second one, the larger farm, is 1,500 square kilometers. So now it is selected. Suppose let us select the big one, 1,500 square kilometers. And you can see if you have measured data, you can use that data to calibrate the farm output, and you can select the source. Okay, once you suppose if you go for the some area in Vietnam. Okay, so you can see you can go the maximum 1,500 square kilometer for the larger farm. You can change the size of this rectangle. Then you can rotate this rectangle to cover your site area. Okay, and then you can submit this request, and it will take about 4 to 6 days when you will able to download the information. Let us have a look on the sample farm. Okay, so once your farm run is ready, you can click on the new layer. You can select different variables, the mean speed, turbulence, extremes information, or the temperature information. And let us select the mean speed. You can select in Vortex, all heights are included from 50 meter till 300 meters. All heights are included. So you can select your height, and then you can submit your request, and maybe it will take some minutes to become this layer ready to download. Let us have a look for the layer which is already there. Okay, so this one is the mean speed layer for this sample farm at 100-meter height. Okay, and you can see you are able to download a WRG format. You are able to download orography. Then you can download the ISRI formats, ISRI ASCII and ISRI TIFF. Then the Google Earth KML format. Okay, then let us go for the series, another product. Okay, so in series, same way, you can select 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You can select the source, whatever source you want, say FSR, MERA2 or ERA5, and you can download that information. But what is important here, I want to highlight, is that you can see there is a 6 months free data tool available. So whenever you have any site with measurements available for the same period, you can download this 6 months data, and you can do the apple to apple validation, I mean. So why to depend on the third party validation or some other validation reports? You can carry out your own validation. Even you can carry out validation for all different sources, and you can just download that single source which is correlating better. But many times the client request the triple series, I mean. So by this way, you can request different products from the Vortex interface. Let us see the knowledge center section. Okay, you can visit the Vortex web page, which is vortexfdc.com. You can go on the knowledge center section, and you can see there are a lot of anomaly wind maps, the offshore wind resource data, the solar information, the technical documentations like white papers, the technical documentation related to different products, then the validations. If you see for the, as I mentioned, in Vortex, we spend a lot of efforts to carry out the validations. internally as well as with help of the customers. And you can see a lot of some of these validations here on the web, this knowledge center section. You can see here, you can able to download the validation for Vortex LAS data in Vietnam, validation of MAST in India. Same way you can go for the wind maps option, and you can see there are a lot of wind maps. Those are already calculated for different countries and regions. You can see here is the wind map for Philippines. So you can just click, you can put your name, mail ID, and you can download this information. So I request all of you, please surf on this knowledge center section whenever you have time. Okay, let us go back to the main presentation. Okay, so we already saw the knowledge Vortex interface and knowledge center. I request all of you, please follow us on the Twitter and LinkedIn also. So whenever you have any doubts, of course, we will try to answer some of these questions. I can see there are several questions, but whenever you have doubts about the model wind information, whenever you want to order some Vortex products, please feel free to contact me on this number, and even you can email me here. Okay, this is the summary. Patricia, maybe we can take some of the questions.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I want to apologize about the last poll question. I had a technical problem with my internet connection. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
We have some questions here in the Q&A section. People has raised their question. And let's start with the first one, Danaji. Someone from the attendees asked, if reanalysis ERA 5 node point is part of my site, shall we still need to order Vortex ERA 5 series?
Okay, so let us go. I mean, as you can see in this slide, the question is that if the node point, reanalysis node point is a part of his site. Okay, suppose it is good situation, you have a node point which is the part of your area, and if you have already the measurements, 1 or 2 years measurement, you have done the correlation with without any MCP with this node point information, and if you see the better correlation, then this information can be used, I mean, but otherwise it can be highly risky. I mean, because if you are not sure about the node point information, time series information, and unnecessary you are forcing this information and trying to correct that the might be not that relevant information by using some MCP methods, and you will try to calibrate that. So in this case, the better approach is to use the scientifically downscaled information instead of just relying on the node point information, because you can see because of the resolution. I mean, I don't say that the node point information is not correct all the times, but sometimes, of course, there are inconsistencies, and you can see this particular area. You can see these are the wind passes, and the influence of this Schoen-Kotai pass captured by reanalysis system at this node point and at this node point. I mean, we cannot assure the things. I mean, so the better way is to use all this node point information and downscale this information exact to your location with some high resolution, I mean. Okay, so.
Okay, thank you, Danaji. There are some other questions. Why and when shall I use model data and not reanalysis?
Yes, I mean, that's what I was trying to explain. I mean, the model, I mean, this is the same question. I don't, maybe the answer is going to be same, because as I said, if there is a situation like that, you have the node point model, the reanalysis information node point in your site, And if you have the measurements, you have already done the correlation, then only it makes sense to use or rely just on the node point information. Otherwise, it is always better to use the downscaled model wind information. Okay, we can go, we can take the next one, I mean.
Okay, perfect. Can Vortex provide data for offshore sites? Do you have experience in this type of projects?
Yes, I mean, in Vortex, as we are doing on-demand zooming, we can provide information for any location, whether it is online, it is onshore, offshore locations. We can just do the calculations, we can do the downscale, and we are providing. Even for last, maybe about last 4 or 5 years, we are providing a lot of offshore wind information in terms of LES data and also the farm. So of course, yes, we can provide offshore wind information.
Okay.
Yes.
Next one. Is the globe cover dataset resolution 300 meters the best available for WRF model, or are there any other improved regional datasets available?
For the roughness, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, whatever the information I have, we are using the globe cover 300-meter resolution with 22 roughness classes. But really speaking, I don't know if there are any other alternatives. Maybe we need to speak with the, discuss with the modeling experts, and then I can come back, I mean.
Okay, perfect, Dhananjay.
Yes.
And there is another one. How well is Vortex handling coastal wind speeds? For example, this attendee makes us an example. What features are used to account for potential bias from winds coming from land to sea?
No, again, going to the domain size, I mean, the nesting grid zooming approach and domain size. I mean, if we see here, I mean, as we are not depend on the these only 4 corners of this. I don't know why it is not coming. Okay, so as just taking the same case again, we can see that there must be a coastal, the wind component, which from these wind passes, which is going from the land to the sea. So that is the reason I request for the using all these reanalysis point information and not just depend on the nearest node point or the 4 corners of the node point. So this in nesting grid zooming approach, we use both all these node point information, those are having the information from the land side, also the sea side. So you can see, imagine, I mean, everything is considered while we downscale by nesting grid.
Okay, Dhananjay, thank you. And the last one, because we are running out of time, this is a very common question. How much uncertainty associated with modeled wind data?
Well, really speaking, it's very difficult to give a single number which will be working everywhere, because it's very site specific. And then, I mean, there are the regions where terrain and climatology easy to capture, but on the opposite side, there are some exceptions also. So we should respect these exceptions. And then in Vortex, we spend a lot of efforts to validate the Vortex output against the wind industry met towers. And whenever some customer is asking for the error number, I mean, so we share our feedback with them, and then but it should be discussed case to case. As I mentioned, the single number cannot work for all around the globe, I mean. And then of course, maybe not when you need information for the new site, but before going to the new site, whenever you have some sites with the MetMask information, your own validation can give a confidence, I mean. So you can carry out your own validation, and you can check what exactly the uncertainty associated with the modeled wind information with even with the all other suppliers, and also you can cross check for the Vortex output also.
Okay, thank you. And now this is the very last one. But Vortex is presently doing projects in Kayathar, South India. Is there any possibility to do projects in conjunction with your engineers over there for my research work?
For where? Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. Vortex is presently doing projects in Kayathar, South India.
Okay, Kayathar, I know. Okay.
In South India. Is there any possibility to do projects in conjunction with your engineers over there for my research work?
No, it looks there is some confusion because at least I know we have done a lot of work with the NIWE, National Institute of Wind Energy, for the maps, even for the forecasting. On different projects, we have worked with NIWE. But if I remember well, NIWE has a test base at Kayathar, but I think we are not working any at the Kayathar this test bed. So just in case, he can email us and we can discuss personally with him.
Okay, perfect. Then thank you very much, Danaji. Okay, thank you, sir. We will email info. Okay, Richard SB says. Well, I will say everybody that has still some questions for us, just write us an email. I will send you this presentation and also the recording of this webinar to your emails. And of course, if you have further questions, just let us know, write us an email to me or to Danaji, and we will be very pleased to help you further. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks all of you for attending today's session. Thanks, Patricia.
Thank you, Danaji.
Bye-bye. Bye.